So I remember reading this, that it was like WrestleMania 13, and you were still being called Rocky. And there were a bunch of fans at the time who were jeering you, and they were saying, unkind things. And you used that moment and literally turned on your heels and turned it around. And, this whole Vision Tour is about people who've been knocked down sometimes in life. Everybody, not in a ring, but have had those moments where you didn't feel like the rest of the world saw you for who you needed to be. How were you able to turn that around?
Okay, so thank you for bringing that up. So this is, it was a turning point in my career, and it really allowed me to grow, and it really allowed me just to be me and be anchored in with who I am. So when I first started wrestling, the idea was, well, why don't you call yourself Rocky Maivia? Out of respect for your dad, Rocky Johnson, and your grandfather, Peter Maivia. I hated the name. And I thought, well, I just wanted to make my own way, and I wanted to be independent. I love my family, but I don't want to do it like that because it feels like I'm trying to leverage their fame. The powers that be said, nope, that's your name. I was also told, well, when you go out and you wrestle, you have to smile. I want you to smile big. This is in the WWE.
Why are you smiling if you don't beat people up?
Well, the idea was I was a rookie in the wrestling business. I was what's called, the wrestling business is a term called babyface, which is a good guy. I was being groomed as a good guy wrestler. Young, the idea was you're grateful. Grateful for the opportunity, so when you go out there, I want you to smile. You can't smile enough. And I thought, well, what if I lose? Nope. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Still got to smile. And it just didn't feel right. That didn't sit right with me. So a few months later, the company made me the Intercontinental Champion. And then a month later, we go into the annual biggest event. It's like the Super Bowl of wrestling, WrestleMania. And it was WrestleMania 13. By the time I got to Chicago, WrestleMania, 16,000 people in the middle of the ring. When I was in the ring, and I'm supposed to be a good guy, and you're supposed to cheer me, 16,000 people were chanting, "Rocky sucks." Thank you for laughing, a few of you. But it was...
Can you hear the word sucks clearly when you're on the mat? Rocky sucks.
Yes.
Yeah, Rocky sucks.
There's a reverb that happens in the arena. And when in unison, not one person, you suck.
Yeah.
16,000. And I remember laying there in the ring, and the referee said to me, don't listen to him. And it was crippling for me.
Yeah.
But so then at that time, the powers that be thought, this isn't going to work. And for whatever reason, people are not liking you and they're not connecting with you. And so in that moment, it was very defining because I asked then if I could just be myself. And if I could go out there and if I can speak to the crowd and if I could just be myself and be authentic. And if I don't want to smile, I don't smile. If I want to laugh, I laugh. If I want to sing, I sing. Whatever it is, I just want to be me. Can I have that for 1 minute of live TV time? Powers that be at that time, Vince McMahon said, you got it. So on Raw, live TV, I grabbed a microphone and I said, I may be a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them. And I said something to the effect of, basically, it's not a this thing, it's not a that thing, it's a me being myself thing. And before you know it, I guess the moral of the story is the importance and the power of finding your identity and being true to who you are. Even in that wild world of pro wrestling, it still applies to everyone in the room, and how powerful that could be, because it was a true shift and click moment. And I never looked back, and I became, fortunately, the biggest draw that the business has ever seen.
Wow. And isn't that the moment, really, that particular moment, the you suck moment, turned into the moment of you becoming The Rock and no longer Rocky.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's when it was Rocky Maivia, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to be called that. We're going to shorten it. I'll be called The Rock. And here we go.
It's working for you.
It's working.
So even now, with all of the success, you still see every opportunity as kind of a crack in the wall. Tell us what that means for you.
I do. So what that means is I still see every opportunity that I have as like a little crack in the wall, a little scratch. And it's almost as if like every opportunity the scratch represents every opportunity. Therefore, the success on the other side of the scratch is the light. Scratching hard, clawing, digging, it's that mentality to really take advantage of every opportunity I have. So,
have you reached the point where you accept your success? Like the world sees it, we all know it, 169 million Insta followers. Have you accepted it? Do you believe it? Have you owned it for yourself?
I have today, yes, and but in this, yes, this time in my life,
Yeah.
yes, because there was a time where I wasn't quite too sure if I was confident enough as to the why and why it was happening and what am I doing, because it wasn't very systematic. It's not like I had a big blueprint, because there really wasn't a blueprint for me to follow when I came from wrestling to Hollywood. There wasn't oh, look, just do it like that other black Samoan guy did it.
Yeah.
And you're going to be great.
Yeah.
Because at that time, the biggest movie stars in the world were George Clooney and
Yeah,
Brad
and then the
Pitt.
movie you did with Arnold Schwarzenegger, it was sort of like, it felt like it was a passing of a torch.
I did a movie called The Rundown, yes.
Yes.
Where he walked by and he said, have fun. And he was great in that.
And do you prefer the acting or the wrestling, or all of it? All of it is connected for you?
I think all of it is connected. You know, what I do love, I love whether it's acting or wrestling or producing or any of the other businesses or investments, it all just has to have a connective tissue to me. And the things I
Explain
love.
wrestling to me. Why isn't it not just beating people up? I know it's more. There's a discipline to it. There's an art to it.
Yes,
right?
it's almost like a physical soap opera. And I always say with
Physical
wrestling,
soap opera. Okay.
it's like a physical soap opera, like physical theater. I always tell people, I say, you know, whenever I would win, it was very real. Like wrestling is very real because I was literally beat my opponent and it was very legit. But whenever I would lose, oh, it's fake. It's not real. It's hard. That didn't happen.
But aren't you the first and only third-generation wrestler?
I was the very first third-generation wrestler in the history of wrestling, and I went on to have a pretty accomplished career. And what I'm also proud of is my first daughter, Simone, who's 18 years old, straight A student. She's at the University of Central Florida. She's training now to become a WWE superstar.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Runs in the family.
She's working so hard.
It's in the genes. So we know you're relentless about your workouts. You even travel with your own, I heard you have your own 40,000-pound mobile gym.
Yes.
You travel with your gym?
Yes. But let me give everybody context as to why I travel with a gym. It's just, it's hard. Yeah, there we go.
Wow. Wow.
Well,
You call this your anchor, and where you find solitude.
I do, yes. So the gym for me and this physical activity for me is my anchor. And I always, I would recommend that for all of you guys in the room, is for us to find that anchor, whether it's hiking or biking or yoga or meditation or whatever it is. Because for me, the gym, or just some sort of physical activity, it anchors my day, and then it allows me to go on and work for the rest of the day.
So it is a spiritual practice for you.
Well, it's way more than just physicality.
Yes.
It's way more than just picking up a weight. It is my balance, it's my anchor, it's my spiritual anchor, mental, because what it allows me to do, it's the only time for me that, and we all need this, because this treadmill of life, there's no stop button, so it's so crazy. It just allows me to block out the noise and clear my head, think about what I need to do or accomplish, or think about the things I need to accomplish without the influx of information and people trying to tug at me and pull at me.
Absolutely. What was your workout today?
My workout today was I did chest and I did back.
I can see it.
I did those things. Did the things like
I'm
that.
feeling it. So I know your company is called $7 because you found yourself at one time in your life with only $7 in your pocket. And you've now turned that around.
I did. When I had a dream, and that dream was to play professional football. I fell in love with the game of football, played at University of Miami. We had great teams. We won a national championship. My goal was to play in the NFL. Again, because we didn't have a lot of money, so I wanted to be the first one to buy my parents a house, buy myself a house. I never lived in a house until I was 29 years old. And the dream didn't come true. I didn't get drafted. I didn't get any offers, nothing. I had to work up in Canada at the Canadian Football League. And when I was cut, when I was cut from there, I had, my dad had to come pick me up. And I'll never forget, we were on I-75. He lived in Tampa, came to Miami, got in his pickup truck. We drove up I-75. And I'm 23 years old. I am forced to move back in with my parents, which was, because you want to tackle the world and you have all these dreams, and none of it came true. And it was also hard because all my friends around me, those teammates, they were NFL stars and they became millionaires buying their parents a home. You know, that's the thing. You want to buy your mom a home. So I said, I wonder how much money I have. And I took out my wallet and I had a 5, a 1, and some change. And at least I rounded up. I'm optimistic. So I thought, I have $7. And now everything, my production company and all marketing, everything is $7.
Yeah, and I love that because I believe that everything that is happening to us is happening to lead us to whatever is the greater moment. And so remembering the $7 and now turning your entire company empire into $7 Productions. And I know you all have a special thing coming to Atlanta, right? You're planning something special right here?
We do. We have a big
Athleticon?
Event coming to Atlanta. It's called Athleticon.
Did you hear about this? Athleticon?
Yeah, thank you.
Tell us what that is.
It's great. Athleticon is imagine if Oprah's 2020 Vision Tour and Comic-Con and a great fitness expo had a baby.
Imagine that.